Greetings, I'm Suzanne. You have arrived at Making It in Maine. This is where I live and where I do YouTube videos, where I do a variety of crafts. Lately, it's mostly been quilting and knitting. Excuse me. I also do rug hooking and miniature needle punch, a little bit of crochet, wool applique. So if you're interested in checking some of those things out, you can go look at some of my previous videos. Yeah, so if you're new to my channel, Making It in Maine, welcome. I'm happy you're here, happy you found me. And I hope you'll visit again if this is your first time. And for those of you who tune in on the regular or semi-regularly, thank you very much. Yes, so I have not gone back to my little pink and brown quilt yet. I just felt so darn discouraged that the basket blocks were not the right size, that I just haven't mustered up the courage to go back to those just yet. So I figured I would get some more immediate gratification, some easier gratification. I showed you my purple and green quilt the last time that I was working on. Yeah, just finishing that. All I had to do was put the binding on. I had already put the hanging sleeve on the back. I showed you that, and I had the binding to do. So I finished sewing the binding on it last night. And so here, let me back my chair up. Here is the finished quilt. And there's the back with the Joe Morton ladies' heads, and not having done the triangles in the corners for hanging sleeve. This was my first time doing that. So there it is. And I have hung it up in my den above the daybed that is in that room. And I took this quilt down. This was part of the Joe's Little Women Club that I used to belong to years ago. So I took this quilt down. That is machine pieced. This was machine pieced also. And this might be from that Joe Morton Club too. I would have to go back and look. But this was another one. I like this quilt. I love the rust color in it. And I love the rust and the blue together, but I just thought it would be nice to swap it out for this one. I'll put a photo up of how it looks hanging. Not that it's going to be any more exciting than seeing it right here, but I'll put a picture in here of it hanging. Actually, you know what? I took a picture of it hanging above the daybed in the den, but it's a cloudy day here today. That room is in the southwest corner of the house. So when I hung it, it was just, and took a photo, it was very dark. So I thought, where else can I hang this for a photo? So I ended up taking it into the bathroom and hanging it on the bathroom wall above my toilet. And I had to take another quilted piece off the wall to hang the purple and green quilt. Let me go get that to show you because I've recently been talking about echo quilting, and that was a raw edge applique quilt that I echo quilted. I don't think I've shown that recently, so let me go get that to show you. So here is the quilt that hangs in my bathroom above the toilet. And you can see the echo quilting around that. And it's just, as I said, raw edge applique with a running stitch around the applique pieces. So there is that. The back has a bubblegum pink. That looks pretty cool, huh? I love how you can see the outline of the leaves. Yes, so that is the quilt that hangs above the toilet. The privy. No, I guess a privy is outside. The throne. What else? What other names are there for toilets? Mrs. Jones. I've got to go visit Mrs. Jones. That's what an expression my parents used to use. Anywho, enough about toilet potty talk. Potty, that's another one. All right, enough potty talk. Yes, so something else that I'm trying to move forward that's very old. I just finished all the hand quilting on this. I believe I showed this in my last video, but I'm showing you my progress. So yes, I cut off all the excess binding and backing fabric earlier today and ironed it to remove the friction pen marks. I love that fabric so much. So much. And I love this fabric. Okay, that reminds me, I want to show you something else. Hold on. All right, so I was talking about this beautiful fabric here. Well, years ago, I don't remember what sort of shop I was in. Actually, it may have been downtown in my town. It was a shop. It was called the Potluck Shop, and it was very eclectic. And I believe that this is where I got these note cards. Look how beautifully they go together. I really should maybe just frame one of these or do something with it because it's a very sweet image. Little girl blowing bubbles, maybe with her big sister and her mama sitting there. So sweet. So sweet. But I just think the colors are so similar. Just this fabric made me think of this note card. All right, so here's my latest dilemma, the most recent thing I have to make a decision about, what to use for a binding. I was hoping I had more of this fabric to do the binding in, but alas, I could not find any today. So I've pulled a few options, one of which would be, let me stand up here, one of which would be that. So that's sort of how that could potentially look. I don't know. I might like your advice on this. Though if you give it to me, I'm ultimately going to go with my gut, I think. But I'd still love to know what you think. Okay, and this is another possibility, just, coming from my stash. It could go that way, or it could go this way. Struggle is real, people. Or it could go that way. I don't know. Showing you just now. I can't say that I like either of those, even though I pulled them as possibilities. Here's another possibility. So there's another possibility. Just right now, looking at them, I'm kind of leaning toward that. What do you think? Is that the right call? Is that the right call? It's really a pretty fabric. Let's see if I have a salvage edge. Always love to know. That is a Judy Rothermel, and that was not on my Judy Rothermel shelf. And as I've been using those pinks and browns, I'll cut from one, and then I forget, was this a Joe Morton? Was this a Judy Rothermel? Or was it neither? So if it looks reproduction-y, I'm putting it with the reproduction stuff, and at some point, probably all the Judy and Joe Morton are just going to all be combined. But I'm happy to be moving this forward. Perhaps by my next video, I will have settled on a border, a binding, rather. I will hopefully have settled on a binding fabric. Yeah, I'm really, really leaning toward this one. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right, what else was I going to? Oh, yes, when I was up in my sewing room earlier, like, this is all done. This sweet little hand quilted piece with persimmon fabric by Basic Gray. Love that fabric so much. This is not. But anyway, I've got to put a hanging sleeve on this so I can hang this. Doesn't fit the decor in my dining room at all, but I think it can go in my den if I remove the purple and green quilt. Oh, goodness. What happens? What happens when you love both reproduction fabric and brighter fabrics? How on earth do you decorate your house? Can they play well enough together to be in the same room? I don't know. I guess I don't know. Do you have this dilemma? Do you like both reproduction fabric and brights? Let me know. I'd love to know how you decorate in your home. I thought that I would go and gather up, since I've been talking about Joe Morton. This is a binder that I keep the patterns from the club that I used to belong to, Joe's Little Women Club. So I recently showed you this quilt, this one, that I'm struggling to figure out, or struggling to decide on how to quilt this section. And then of course I'll be struggling to decide how to quilt that section too. But this has been done for years, pieced, and just need to get the quilting done. So that's that one. I'll show you this one next. You've probably seen it in a previous video, but here's this one. And each block is the same, but they all sort of look different depending on where I put the lights and the darks and rotating the half square triangles, that sort of thing. So there's that one. Just put some of these away. All right, so now we could look at that one. I think this is it, yes. Churn dashes. Maybe I should just stay out of my chair. So there's that one. There's that quilt. And this was machine and hand quilted, both. There's that one. This is all Joe Morton fabric. The other two that I showed you were a mix, a mix of fabrics. All right. Oops, I forgot to grab the little cabins in the corner. She had a separate pattern for it, which I think I purchased before joining the club, but yeah, I forgot to grab that one while I was upstairs. I made 3 or 4 of those, sold 2 or 3 in my Etsy shop, I think. All right, so I'll show you this one next. That'll be the last one on this page. This one is super faded that I'm going to show you. It's been in front of on a table in front of a south-facing window. So it's been exposed to a lot of light. Shame on me. There's that one. Very faded. This fabric is super faded. They're all super faded. There's that one. And that was machine quilted also. All righty. Let me get back in my binder and see what else I can find. So the faded one was called Small Strippy. Prairie Basket is the one that had the applique in the center, the basket with the flowers. That was called Prairie Basket. Calico Surprises was the pink and brown that each block was the same but looked different. Calico Surprises. And okay, here's get it out of the binder. This is, I should take it out of there also, perhaps. I started fading a bit, I think, as each club moved on. So here is Joe's Little Women Club 2. Let's see. I think that was a signature quilt. Let's see which ones. I did not do the heart on that. Okay, this one right here. Let me switch. No, I've got to go grab another quilt, and I'm not going to stop the video, so I'll be right back. I hang a lot of my quilts on our hardwood doors inside the house. So this is Indigo Stars, except I did not do it in indigo. So this is, yeah, I super love this one. This is one of my favorite little quilts that I have made. So many pretty fabrics. And this, in the last video, I showed you that book about blended quilts. To me, this reads as a blended quilt. Super love that one. All right, so let's see. What's next? 9-patch doll quilt. That is that one up above my cookbook shelf. Love that one. Let's see, the friendship quilt. I'm not going to show you that because it has people's first and last names, including mine. But that's that quilt right there. Small friendship quilt, it's called. What else? Small friendship quilt. I guess you could do a larger one or a small one, because in my binder there's small friendship quilt and friendship quilt. And then the All My Stars, which I said I did not do. So the one remaining, oh, and there's a pattern for a sewing roll-up or needle case. I did not do that because I've done some housewives before. Let's see. Where is, I'm missing one. There's one called Chocolate and Cherries. The pattern is here. Cherries and nuts. Can't really get a good sense of it from that photo, and I was just looking. I don't know if this was, yeah, which one was this in? I don't know, but let me show it to you. Here it is, unfinished. Okay, so this is the, just said it, cherries and nuts. It's okay. It's not my favorite that I've made, but there it is. Just need to quilt it. I should hand quilt this one, I think. Yes, I do. Oh, I did, it looks like I did do some preliminary, this is when I had my cat. She loved to plow into fabric when I was working on things. So yeah, I did preliminary quilting around each block. But I think I will continue with hand quilting this one. Yes, so there is that. What else? All right, we've done. Then there's part 3. Let's see. how many part 3s I did. I'm not sure I did. I'm not sure I did many, if any, part 3. I wish at the bottom of her patterns she mentioned if they were part 3 or part 2. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I really did any of those. I know I didn't do the baskets, and none of the others look familiar, except I didn't really do that, but I did a couple of things sort of similar to that. Let me show you those. These are not quilted or sandwiched. I mean, yeah, they're sandwiched. They're just not basted yet. So that's just a tiny little one. Purple in the middle. There's that. And this is just a bigger one. Yeah, I kind of like those. I do like them. Here's another one with some of Joe's purple fabric. Purple, green, and what do you call that color? Yeah, a golden color, I guess you'd say, a golden color. Yeah, so this sits on a little table in the living room. The colors don't match really with what's in the living room, but I like it. It's pretty. I think I may have had it in my Etsy shop at some point and then took it out. I don't know. Anyway, there's that one. And I must not have printed out Joe 5. I mean, Joe 4, Club 4. I must not have printed out the page that showed them all, so I printed some out. There's the, all right. Did I show you this one yet? I think I showed you that one first. I did already show it to you. It's what I took off the wall in the den. But why did I think that was part of? Why did I think that was part of one? Oh, don't mind me. I'm all confused. All right, so yes, I showed you that one. It came off the wall in my den where I now have hung the purple and green quilt. All right, this one I did not do. This one I have, but it's not quilted yet. And here is that one. Love this one. And I think all of that is Joe Morton fabric. Yes. And this one, the quilt shop owner at the time, and I don't know if Joe mentions this in some of her patterns, but how you can, sometimes flip a fabric over and use the back side of it instead of the right side. You can use the wrong side. So there's that. I have batting ready for it. I just need to pick the backing fabric and then baste it and get quilting. So much to get quilting on. All right, so I did piece that and finished it. I pieced that. It needs quilting. Oh yes, and there's the one I showed you just a second ago. This one. And I have this one. Is that the one that is so faded? Or was that the strippy quilt? Let's see. I'm quite sure I did that one. But I don't see it here. I do not see that one. Maybe I didn't do it. Huh. I don't know. I guess perhaps I did not do that one. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. Oh. Wait just a moment. I have another Joe Morton thing to show you. It's pieced. Almost totally pieced. Just need to applique a circle or two on it. Here I go again. I'll be right back. And here it is. And again, Suzanne's greatest dilemma in life, how to quilt something. Don't know why I struggle so with that. But this pattern was in a American Patchwork and Quilting magazine, and I believe I need 1 or 2 more circles in the center. Not that it needs it, really. I could just leave it as is, and maybe I should. Maybe that'll help me get it done. Joe Morton, if you're watching this, would you give me some suggestions on how to quilt this? And if you're not Joe Morton, would you give me suggestions on how you might quilt this? I was looking at it recently thinking, to just go in on one side, skip the skinniest spokes, and just stitch in the ditch or just outside the ditch on most of them. And who knows about the border. All right, my dear ones, I have got to jet. I am off to chant with a young college student, and so I have got to get ready to leave for that. So I'll see you next time at Making It in Maine, and in the meantime, from my heart to yours, bye for now. And please, if you don't mind, would you subscribe to my channel? Give it a thumbs up if you like what you see. And if you want to know when another video lands, you can put the, hit the bell for notifications. Anyway, bye for now, dear ones. Thank you.